Your heart might be in trouble, and you don't even know it. That is what makes heart problems so dangerous. They do not always begin with a dramatic moment. Sometimes the warning signs are quiet, easy to ignore, easy to explain away. You feel more tired than usual, so you blame stress. You get out of breath walking upstairs, so you blame age or being out of shape. You feel a strange pressure in your chest, but it goes away, so you tell yourself it is probably nothing. But sometimes it is not nothing. Your body often sends signals before a major heart problem happens. The issue is that many people miss those signals because they seem too small, too common, or too unrelated to the heart. And while those signs are being ignored, silent damage may already be building in the background. In this video, we are going to look at 7 warning signs your heart may be giving you. Some of them may seem minor at first, but together, they can paint a much more serious picture. If even one of these has been happening to you lately, stay with me, because the last sign is one of the most overlooked and dangerous of them all. Why heart health matters. Your heart is not just another organ. It is your body's life support system. Every second of every day, it works to pump blood through your body, delivering oxygen and nutrients to your brain, your muscles, and every organ that keeps you alive. It does this quietly, without asking for attention. And when it is working well, you barely think about it. But when something starts to go wrong, the effects can show up almost anywhere. That is because your heart is connected to everything. If it is not pumping efficiently, your body does not get the blood and oxygen it needs. Energy drops, breathing changes, swelling can appear, pain can show up in places you would never expect. And here is the part many people do not realize. Heart damage often builds silently. Long before a major event like a heart attack or heart failure, your body may already be showing signs that circulation is weakening, pressure is rising, or the heart is under strain. That is why early awareness matters so much. The sooner you recognize these changes, the sooner you can take action. And in many cases, early action can make all the difference. So let's go through the 7 signs carefully, because some of the most important clues do not look serious at first. 7. Warning signs. Your heart may be giving you. Some of these signs are surprisingly common. That is exactly why they get ignored. A lot of people wait for severe chest pain and assume that if they are not feeling that, their heart must be fine. But heart problems do not always announce themselves so clearly. Sometimes the body whispers before it screams. So as we go through these signs, pay attention to the pattern, not just one symptom by itself. And make sure you stay until sign number 7, because it often shows up in a place most people never connect to the heart. Sign number 1, constant fatigue. One of the earliest and most overlooked warning signs is constant fatigue. Not normal tiredness after a busy day, not the kind that goes away with one good night of sleep. I am talking about a heavier kind of fatigue, the kind that makes everyday tasks feel harder than they should, the kind that lingers. Here is why this can happen. When your heart is not pumping blood as efficiently as it should, your body may not get enough oxygen-rich blood. And if your muscles, organs, and tissues are not getting the fuel they need, your energy levels can drop fast. In simple terms, your body starts working with less power. That can make you feel worn out during things that used to feel easy. Walking, climbing stairs, doing housework, even staying mentally focused can feel more draining than usual. The problem is that fatigue is so common that most people do not treat it as a warning sign. They blame poor sleep, stress, work, or getting older, and sometimes that is true. But if the tiredness feels persistent, unusual, or worse than before, your heart may be part of the story. And this is where it gets important, because fatigue often does not show up alone. It is frequently followed by another sign that becomes noticeable during simple, daily activities. Sign number 2, shortness of breath. If you find yourself getting out of breath during normal tasks, that should never be ignored. Maybe you notice it while walking across a parking lot, maybe while going upstairs, maybe while doing something light that never used to be a problem. At first it may seem minor, But over time, it can become one of the clearest signs that your heart is struggling. Here is what may be happening. If the heart cannot pump blood effectively, oxygen delivery throughout the body becomes less efficient. That can leave you feeling like you cannot catch your breath, even when you are not doing much. In some cases, fluid can also begin to back up into the lungs, which makes breathing feel even harder. That is why shortness of breath is such an important signal. It is not always about the lungs. Sometimes it is about circulation. Many people ignore this because it comes on gradually. They adjust without realizing it. They slow down. They avoid stairs. They rest more often. And little by little, a new normal begins to form. But if your breathing has changed, especially without a clear reason, that is something worth taking seriously. And for some people, the next sign is even harder to dismiss, although it does not always feel the way they expect. Sign number 3, chest discomfort or pressure. When people think about heart trouble, they usually imagine sudden, sharp chest pain. But real warning signs are often less dramatic than that. Chest discomfort can feel like pressure, tightness, squeezing, fullness, or a strange, heavy sensation in the center or left side of the chest. Sometimes it is mild, sometimes it comes and goes. Sometimes it feels more uncomfortable than painful, and that is exactly why people talk themselves out of it. They think, if it were really my heart, it would be worse. It would be sharp. It would be unbearable. But that is not always how it works. When the heart muscle is not getting enough oxygen, the sensation may show up as pressure rather than pain. It can happen during physical activity, emotional stress, or even at rest in more serious cases. And while some episodes pass quickly, that does not make them harmless. This is one of the clearest warning signs on this list because it can signal that the heart is already under real strain. If you ever experience new chest pressure, tightness, or discomfort, especially with shortness of breath, sweating, nausea, or weakness, that is not something to brush off. But here's where it gets interesting. Not every warning sign of heart trouble shows up in the chest. Some show up lower in the body, in a way that surprises many people. Sign number 4, swelling in the legs or feet. If your feet, ankles, or lower legs have started swelling more than usual, your heart may be involved. At first, this symptom can seem harmless. Maybe your shoes feel tighter by evening. Maybe your socks leave deeper marks than they used to. Maybe your ankles look puffier at the end of the day. A lot of people assume it is just from standing too long or eating too much salt. But sometimes, swelling is a sign of poor circulation and fluid retention. When the heart is not pumping effectively, blood can begin to back up in the veins. That pressure can push fluid into surrounding tissues, especially in the lower parts of the body where gravity pulls it down. As a result, fluid collects in the feet, ankles, and legs. This kind of swelling can be easy to overlook because it may build slowly. But if it keeps happening or gets worse over time, it deserves attention. And it is not just about swelling itself. It may be a visible sign that the heart is struggling to keep blood moving the way it should. Now, some signs of heart trouble are visible. Others are felt more than seen. And the next one can be unsettling because it affects the rhythm of something you normally never notice. Sign number 5, irregular heartbeat. Your heart is supposed to beat in a steady rhythm, not something you think about, not something that surprises you. So if you suddenly start feeling fluttering, pounding, racing, or skipping in your chest, that can be a warning sign. Some people describe it as a flip-flop feeling. Others say it feels like the heart pauses for a moment, then beats harder. In some cases, it feels like a fast, shaky rhythm that comes out of nowhere. These sensations are often called palpitations. Now, not every irregular heartbeat means something dangerous is happening. Stress, caffeine, lack of sleep, and anxiety can all affect heart rhythm. But here is what most people do not realize. Ongoing rhythm changes can also signal an electrical or structural problem in the heart. When the heart beats irregularly, it may pump less efficiently. That can reduce blood flow and place more strain on the body. And in some situations, abnormal rhythms can increase the risk of more serious complications. What makes this symptom so powerful is the emotional reaction it creates. People feel it, get worried for a moment, then try to ignore it when it passes. But if your heartbeat has started feeling unpredictable, especially with dizziness, weakness, chest discomfort, or breathlessness, it is not something to leave unexplored. And that leads directly into sign number 6, because when blood flow becomes less stable, the brain may be one of the first places to feel it. Sign number 6, dizziness or lightheadedness. If you sometimes feel dizzy, lightheaded, suddenly weak, or like you might faint, your heart may be sending a signal. This can happen when the brain is not getting enough blood flow. And if the heart is not pumping well, or the rhythm is unstable, that reduced circulation can show up as sudden unsteadiness. For some people, it happens when standing up. For others, it appears during activity, after exertion, or even for no obvious reason. It may feel brief, it may feel mild, but it should not be ignored, especially if it is happening more often. Many people blame dehydration, stress, or low blood sugar. And yes, those can cause dizziness too. But when it appears with other signs on this list, it becomes much more concerning. Because this is not just about feeling off balance. It may mean your body is struggling to keep enough blood and oxygen moving to the brain when it matters most. And now we come to the final sign, the one many people never connect to the heart at all, even though it can be one of the most important warnings. Sign number 7, pain in the neck, jaw, or arm. This is one of the most ignored signs of heart trouble because it does not always feel like a heart symptom. A lot of people think heart-related pain must stay in the chest, but that is not always true. Sometimes the discomfort travels or shows up somewhere else entirely. It may appear in the neck, the jaw, the shoulder, or down one arm, often the left arm, though not always. This is called referred pain. In simple terms, the brain can sometimes struggle to identify exactly where pain signals are coming from, especially when nerves share pathways. So a heart problem may create discomfort that feels like it is coming from another part of the body. That is what makes this sign so easy to miss. Someone may think they slept in a bad position. They may blame muscle tension, stress, or a dental issue. And because there may be little or no chest pain, they never consider the heart. But if pain or pressure in the jaw, neck, shoulder, or arm appears along with fatigue, shortness of breath, nausea, sweating, or chest discomfort, it becomes much more serious. This is especially important because for some people, unusual pain outside the chest may be one of the earliest or strongest warning signs before a heart attack. So if this symptom has ever seemed random to you, remember this: the heart does not always warn you in obvious ways. Quick recap. Let's quickly bring all of this together. The 7 warning signs we covered were constant fatigue, shortness of breath, chest discomfort or pressure, swelling in the legs or feet, irregular heartbeat, dizziness or lightheadedness, and pain in the neck, jaw, or arm. Any one of these can have more than one cause, but when they start appearing together, repeating often, or getting worse over time, your body may be telling you that something is wrong. And that is the key takeaway here. Your body often gives signals before a major heart problem happens. The danger is not always the symptom itself. The danger is ignoring it for too long. What to do next? If some of these signs sound familiar, do not panic, but do not dismiss them either. The smartest next step is to pay attention to the pattern and talk to a doctor, especially if the symptoms are new, frequent, or getting worse. Early evaluation can catch problems before they become far more serious. This also means being more aware of your daily health. Notice changes in your energy. Notice how easily you get out of breath. Notice swelling, unusual pressure, or a heartbeat that feels different from normal. And just as important, look at the bigger picture. Heart health is affected by lifestyle over time. Food choices, physical activity, stress, sleep, smoking, blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar all matter more than many people realize. The earlier you act, the more options you usually have, and that can make a huge difference for your future health. Before you go, have you experienced any of these signs yourself or seen them in someone close to you? Let me know in the comments which one surprised you the most. Sometimes one symptom seems small until you understand what it could mean, and that awareness may help someone take action sooner. Watch this next. If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more clear, practical health videos that help you notice the warning signs early and understand what to do next. And if you want to go one step further, watch the next video on foods that may help support cleaner arteries and better heart health. Because spotting the signs is important, but knowing how to protect your heart every day is where real prevention begins.